Hey everybody, how you doing? You're like, Charles, you're back again. Yes, I'm back again because I have a special guest. We've been talking off air, just having a great time. We're doing a part 2 series all about, just relaxing, empowering yourself, doing a little bit of everything. We were just talking about how we can make ourselves better. And if you want to know who my special guest is, stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. Let's go. Yes, without further ado, let's bring her on. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much. I'm just trying to share the video, so just bear with me.
Hey, no worries, no worries. Now, we were talking off camera, all the stuff that you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot, but it's time to share with the world what's going on. So before we get started, please introduce yourself.
My name is Dagma Koyi, and based on what I do, I found an organization called Restoration and Empowerment for Social Transition. And our work is really with youth that are homeless in the community, trying to help them, connect them to resources and housing that could help provide them with the opportunity to really become independent and become more sustainable long term.
All right. So before we get into that,
And
I would like to know who I'm talking to. So give me
you
some.
want to know, you want to know more about me, okay? From a non-professional perspective. Okay, no problem. I think what the world needs to know about what's happening in my world today is that I shared with you, I have 2 new babies.
Yay!
And so other than doing business, my babies keep me really active throughout the day. And so I have a boy and a girl, Rima and Mishael. They turned 1 not too long ago.
Nice.
So full-time mom, full-time businesswoman. I also have a ministry that I founded during COVID-19, Heart to Heart Women's Ministry, just empowering women to lead their faith audaciously. We meet weekly for Bible study and for prayer, and I'm just in awe of what God is doing even through that. And I'm a wife. My husband is Olubusola Koyi. Yeah, so I think that's in a nutshell who I am. Background-wise, I'm originally from St. Lucia. I think you asked me that. So I'm an island girl. Yes, I am.
Hold on.
Usually,
Let's make sure, because I want to make sure. Is it rice and peas or peas and rice?
Oh, rice and peas. Not we say.
Just check.
I really hope I have not forgotten. I think we say, because when you come to Canada and you're around Jamaicans, you hear rice and peas a lot, right? So to be honest, I hope I'm not now Jamaican. I hope I'm saying it right. Is it peas and rice or rice and peas? I don't remember, but I think it's rice and peas.
There you go. That's right. I want to make sure we bring you into the fold. All right.
But rice and peas is really in St. Lucia. That's not the most predominant staple. It's not so much. We do eat rice and peas, but I think in St. Lucia we do a lot of other foods. Like I think they love breadfruit and they love green banana.
Okay.
So they're like green banana people. Like we're more of, I think, the ground provisions in St. Lucia more so than the rice and peas.
All right. So here's a question then. Growing up from the island, coming to Canada, did you ever think you're going to be doing what you're doing now with the organizations, with all this stuff?
No, not at all. Like, I mean, I've always been a purpose-driven person. So in terms of youth development, that started in St. Lucia. I led a youth ministry in St. Lucia. So I always had a passion for young people and youth development. I served as an elementary school teacher in St. Lucia before migrating to Canada. So I've always been around kids and youth and all of that kind of stuff. And migrating to Canada, it was about studying and it was about, improving myself academically and as a person. That was a goal. I did not envision that I'd probably found an organization to help homeless people. Because you see a lot of times when people hear about countries like Canada, you can't imagine that there are homeless people in Canada, right?
Right.
Exactly. So no, it was nothing in the plan to come and start this.
So let me make sure I'm getting this right. Is it for teens or for everybody?
My organization, we are for young people.
Okay. So
targeting young people.
let's get these let's get it out there, because when we hear homeless, right, we think of older people. We think of the
Mhm.
older generation, lost their house, lost their business, lost their stuff. When we hear homeless, we don't think of young teens, because we're like, why would a young teen be homeless? They have mom and dad to take care of them. Why would a teen be homeless? So let's dive into that.
Yeah, that's definitely a big misconception. There is a great population of the homeless people in Canada that are actually young people under the age of 24, and you have young people who are on the streets as early as 13, 14. And I think if we really people are aware of the reason why young people could be homeless, maybe that will give them a better understanding. So, number one, we have young people in the foster care system, right? And when we think about foster care, I don't think any young person decided that I want to be in foster care. It's a lot of times the government really stepped in to be able to advocate for people or children who are probably being mistreated or abused. So we have those particular young people. And at 18, those young people who were owned by the state or who have been taken care of by the state and in foster homes, at 18, they are now independent. So their parent or what they knew to be their parent is now separating ties with them and saying, okay, now you're 18, it's time for you to go on your own. Your foster parents are no longer responsible for you, right? And so a lot of times we have those young people who lack the life skills training, lack the financial capability even to live on their own, especially given the crazy prices of houses in the GTA or rent per
Right.
se. So that's a big contributing factor to young people that are actually homeless. The research shows about 43% of youth who are on the street have had an encounter with the foster care system. And then, of course, you have those young people who have actually, been traumatized in the home, whether for sexual abuse and physical abuse and all of that, actually ended up in the streets. They are in fear of going home, and so sometimes they rather sleep with their friends or they end up in the shelter. So there are a lot of different reasons why young people are on the streets. And yes, there are part of the homeless population in Canada is actually young people.
Yeah, because we always think that when we hear young people, it's like I don't vision it, and I think not only do we don't not vision it, we don't want to actually believe it, because when you see an older person on the street, you help them out, you think about helping them and stuff like that. But when you see a young person, it's devastating. You're thinking, how did this happen? What's happening? So is it a lot of times that we're not immune, but not realizing what's happening in what's going around of us.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And I think that there is a big need for the awareness and the education part, because perhaps if I was not sensitized towards that need, I may not have known that it was so prevalent. I contribute my awareness partly to being employed by an organization downtown Toronto that actually served homeless young people, and being actually working with those young people and just hearing the stories behind the reason why they're on the street is actually what brought about some of this passion to help be a solution to that problem. There's a real need, and then there is actually real stories behind. I mean, I can go into stories after stories. And I remember just one young lady, she didn't choose to be on the street, but really she was taken from her parents, from a child, and put into the foster care system because her parents, her mom was involved in prostitution, right? And so these are the kind of stories that you hear. Dysfunction in the family, one parent decide that they're gonna separate and they're gonna be divorced, and then they leave the kids behind, and then the foster care gets involved, and 16, 17, those kids decide, okay, I would rather go on the street. Perhaps what's happening in the foster care homes too, which we've heard of sometimes,
Yeah, yeah,
re-traumatization, that they are traumatized again because they're not put in places or families that actually give care, and because of that hurt they feel that going to the street would be safer than staying. And so we have all of those reasons, and definitely I agree with you, we definitely have to really create more awareness. Organizations like myself, I would say, we have to really create more awareness and educate the public around why young people are homeless, or I think the public will be of the sense, or you would generally know, people would think that, oh, those young people are just rebellious. They just do not want to stay with their parents. That's
Right.
the reason why they're on the street. But no, that's not the case.
Right. So let me do this. Big shouts out going out to all those foster homes that are doing phenomenal jobs, that are taking care of them. But we all know there is phenomenal restaurants and there's not that great restaurants.
That's right.
The good and the bad. So just like how there's phenomenal people taking care of them, there's places out there that the kids feel like they're not taking care of us properly. We need
That's
to
right.
and this is why they're out there. And we don't see it because we see the big names on the board, foster care, we see them coming out and stuff, but we don't know that it's more traumatizing there than being on the street. So this is why it's happening. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're actually going to dive into your website. We're going to dive into the organization, and we got to find out what can we do to help you to help them, because I think that's the big part. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
CMJ Entertainment is a one-stop shop. CMJ Entertainment helps people do any type of events, and it's a marketing tool as well. So we'll cover everything from start to finish. If it's a wedding, we'll make sure your wedding is over the top. And if it's an event, we make sure that everybody gets information at the end of the day. Give us a call at 416-414-8964 or online, go to cmjent.com.
Immigrant Women in Business, IWB, is a non-profit organization bringing together women from over 50 different countries around the globe. These women have now made Canada their home and share a common goal of providing value to their new sisters. Our motto of "We are stronger together" resonates with all members, and with a diverse membership of business leaders, entrepreneurs and community builders, our goal is to make Canada better and provide guidance and leadership to those that follow.
Yes, we're back. But before we go into it, explain the name of the organization.
Restoration and Empowerment for Social Transition Center. Our acronym R.E.S.T is really the key thing, or I think the beauty of what makes our name stand out. We are right now trying to create programs and services that could help rehabilitate young people. And when we think about the services that we want to provide, we want to give young people a place where they could actually find respite, where they could find rest from all of the turmoils and all of the trauma that they've gone throughout their life journey. And we also know when we think about rest, we think about a home. Where do we find rest? When you think about your life at the end of a busy day, at the end of the stressful day, everybody wants to resort to their home, that place of comfort, that place of safety, that place where they could let go of themselves, and that place where they could just relax and find peace. And so that's really our model. We believe in the housing first model. We definitely believe that helping to solve the need of housing first for young people will help them to transition and help them to also be able to access other supports and services that will definitely help to launch them on a better path towards independence. All right. And so that name, I believe, was just, it was inspired. It was totally, people had to say, oh, I love that name. How did you get that name? I'm a faith person. I'm a believer of God, and it was definitely a name that came from the inspiration for God, I would say.
So the part that I do like is right here. So the top of the screen right here, it says get involved. So it says become volunteer option, job opportunity. But the number one I like, become a bridge builder. And I like that because we cannot cross without that bridge, and we cannot make that bridge if we don't do it together. I cannot hold the wood and the nail and the hammer at the same time. Okay. I need somebody to hold the wood for me, pass me the nails, help the wood. We can all do it at the same time if we work together. So so become, bridge builder. There's an opportunity right there. You can apply, go online. Okay. Get involved. Okay. Volunteers. They need volunteers. Maybe they're going to a shelter to do food, coming out, helping out. Organization, job opportunities. There's stuff there. If there's a way you think you can help out, please go to this website, take a look, get into contact with them. Okay. It's real simple. The website is there, information. But if you can also give a call right there, 647-365-4514. That's 647-365-4514. Or there's the website. Go straight to the website, log on. You can see all the stuff I'm looking at right now. Or if you like typing, there you go. All right. So what is the big thing that you're looking for right now? Let's talk about that. Let's dive right into that. What do you need?
Yeah, so the bridge builder, the way you saw, we said apply and become a bridge builder. That's actually, we created a flagship program. It's called Bridge of Hope program. And what we do is we partner with community members that have spaces in their house. So whether it's a basement, whether it's a room, and we provide, we connect young people to those resources. And the reason why we have to do that is those young people who are aging out of foster care or sometimes coming from the shelter system are already at a big disadvantage, and there's a lot of barriers to them finding housing. So when they're competing against a market where landlords are requiring credit history and other references from other landlords and an employment letter and all of these other things that are required from the landlord, half of the times those young people are unable to provide that. And so when we come in and we act as a mediator, that provides more comfort, one, to the landlord and also to the young people. And so we provide a training to those landlords so that they could understand the type of client group that we're working with. They're not your typical client, or they're not your typical tenant, right? So
Right.
a lot of times those young people lack the life skill training. And so we're working on all these different elements and pieces with them so that they can become more successful. And so we also act as a mediator to avoid things as eviction. We provide case support while they are actually being housed. And so we connect with both the landlords regularly to make sure that the stay is going well, and providing the landlord also with support if problems arrive. And so we intervene at those times in order to avoid things like evictions. And so we also provide wraparound support services. So while those young people are being housed, they do have access to working with a case support worker that will help them to set goals to be able to become sustainable more long term. And so in regards to that program, we're constantly looking for landlords who are interested in partnering with us and seeing if you say you have a room and you're interested in bringing on a young person. Again, it's not free. We do have, those young people do have access to supports to pay that rent. But again, it's not as expensive as what we're seeing right now. So we are unable to, house a young person for $1,000 or $1,200, which is some of the prices that I'm beginning to see just for a room in Toronto. Okay, so they already are of low income. And for our program, we have recently received funding to help to subsidize some of those rents for some of those young people, just in order for us to be able to house them even sooner. And so our ask is really, if you do have a space or know somebody that have a space, please share it. Please share it. And again, in the Black community, this need is so much. We work out of the Peel region, where about 60% of the homeless population are Black kids. And it's even harder for them to be able to get, imagine a Black young man who's living foster care, who probably have had a background or something with the criminal justice system. That all of those things against him, it's harder to get him housed. So we're asking people to get involved, and you could contact us if you want to be a bridge builder. If you want to support a young person through their transition, of course, we are looking for help in terms of that. We are a full-fledged charity. We are able to provide tax receipts at the end of the year. So definitely you could give and decide, okay, I want to help to support the housing for some young person for 1 month, for 2 months, and you could find that information too on our website.
All right. So that was my next question. So besides that, so I don't have a house, I don't have a location to help you. What is the other means? So if I can help put in a monthly fee to somebody to, to keep them. And the thing is, I'm not talking about summer. Summer is nice. I'm not saying it's bad. You can chill with a friend in the summertime, but winter, where are they going? Where are they going to be in winter time? So if you can help them out to keep them somewhere during the winter time where it's cold, help them out during winter time, 1 month, you know what I mean? Help them out for,
Right.
here, we're talking about dead of winter. I'm talking about December, January, February, where we know, you blink twice and the tears freeze on your face. Where are they going? Okay.
Yep,
So
that's right.
we need your help on that. But the other part I wanted to talk to you about is you said their ages are like from 10, 13 and up. So the other thing is mentors, schooling, mentors. Do you need mentors? Do you need people to help them with their homework, with schooling, stuff like that? Are you looking for volunteers in that aspect? We have a lot of people that are mentors that might say, listen, I can't give up the money. I don't have a space, but I do have my time. Are you looking for mentors?
Yeah, so I just want to be clear that we don't work with young people who are under 18. Our cutoff is really from age 18 because we are helping them to launch them on a better path towards independence. So these are young people who are aging out of foster care, and sometimes they are also in the shelter system, right? And so although there are young people that you would find that are homeless as early as 13, they could be on the street, but no, our organization do not work with them. And of course, young people who are actually entering into adolescence at the age of 18 and becoming independent, becoming men and women, definitely they need mentorship, I think. And so, yes, absolutely. So if you believe that you have the skill set or you have the empathy and you'd like to mentor a young person or act like a big brother or big sister as they journey towards independence, you could definitely go on our website and you could fill also that volunteer form, and somebody will contact you and somebody will connect with you.
All right. So here it is. I want to bring it up. There's the website right there. Please go there, fill out the form, or even just give her a call first. Maybe you just need to know a little bit more. There's other things out there that you can help with, or maybe an organization that would be a great fit. That's the other thing too. We need to network. Maybe there's another organization that will help this organization to get to the next level up. So please give a call, 647-365-4514, email, and just shout her out. Say, hey, listen, I need to take 5 minutes of your time. I know you got 2 babies, but can I just ask you a couple questions? I need to know, what can I do to help right there? All right. Listen, it's been a pleasure. And first of all, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for taking up the time to do what you're doing. Because a lot of people, wouldn't have the time to take up this task on what you're doing, that, helping others. It's, it sounds great what you're doing to help the young people to transition. So on behalf of myself, I want to give you
thank you.
Another big round of applause, because it does take time out of your busy schedule to do what you're doing. But before we let you go, something we always do on my show, it's called the Queen Wave. This is your opportunity to say bye to anybody and do your shout outs. Anybody you want to shout out to?
Thank you. I just want to thank all those who have already been supporting our organization and those who have been reaching out to us on ways that they could help. Thank you. You make a big difference. Thank you. Thank you to IWB for this opportunity. Svetlana, she has been a great support, a great mentor to me on this journey from day one. She has been it's a good person to have in your support network. So IWB, thank you. Big thank you to Svetlana. And thank you, Matthew. I received your instructions this morning that I should get on social media more. So thank you. Believe it or not, even though I was hesitant and I was trying to say, give all sorts of excuses, I heard you clearly. And so I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I schedule myself and really think about getting on social media more. So thank you so much. And thank you for everybody who tuned in.
Not a problem, because we're here to support you. Put it out there. We're here to support you. You take care.
You too. Thanks.
Listen, help her out. This is the main thing. Help her to help others. This is a great thing. Great organization. Take the time to help somebody. Okay. I know sometimes we think about, the little bit. Every little bit helps. Okay. Listen, once again, thank you so much for watching. You have a great day. I'll see you next time.
Has come to an end, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
Please be advised that this podcast is meant for educational and informational purposes only and is in no way a replacement for legal or medical advice. The opinions contained within are solely those of the interviewers and interviewees and should be received as so. Those seeking help or advice are encouraged to obtain professional legal and medical